Well, hello and welcome once again to the DCL Podcast, where we're inviting you to sit back, relax, and we'll be on our way shortly.
Well, welcome back to the DCL Podcast, your podcast to cruise a little smarter. I'm your host, Lake, and I am joined by my co-host, Christy. Christy, how are we today?
Hi, Lake. I'm crazed. Are you crazed?
I am not crazed.
Sorry. How?
This is my third time running Dopey.
I'm not even crazed because of Dopey, which we can get into briefly. Also, I feel like it should be more than your third time. But I'm crazed because my to-do list is very high and my time that I have left to work is very low.
Yeah, that is the nice thing about my job is once I leave, I say, see you losers.
That's true. You can't.
Once I clock out tomorrow, goodbye.
You can only do whatever. Yeah. And then my son is still off school for Christmas break. So we're recording this on Monday the 6th and they have this day off and he is over. He's not over it. He's fantastic. He's been wonderful, but he now needs to interact with people, which means that he's interacting with us. And it's very cute, which is why we were late to record tonight, because he was like, Mama, let's decorate the Christmas decorations, which we should have done over the weekend. So,
I took my lights down yesterday.
Smart. Is your inside the house still up?
Oh, no, we'll keep that tree up until we want. Yeah. No shame there. We love our Christmas tree.
And I love the lights. Like, my goal was to get the decorations off, or at least some of them, but there's no time for that. There's no time.
No, there's not, because we do have a big weekend here coming up that we alluded to. But we're also not here to talk about taking down our Christmas decorations. We are here to talk about cruising. We do not have a guest this week. We are not talking about any specific cruise. We thought this would be a good time to, one, wish everyone a happy new year, and also thank everyone for continuing to listen. And of course, thank our Patreons for continuing to support the show. We just did a Patreon Zoom call, which is just like an open Zoom with any of our active Patreons, and had a good time chatting about everyone's future plans, talking about the show, and just hanging out with people. And it was a lot of fun.
That was so much fun. And one of our Patreons wasn't able to make it. Already was like, can we please do this every other month at a minimum? So I think that we are definitely going to do that. So if you're interested in our Patreon program, it's dclpodcast.com/Patreon. Patreon.
Patreon.com/DCL Podcast.
There you go. Oh my God. I told you I'm so tired.
This is why one of us records the outros.
Yes, it's not me. Oh my God. Lake made me record the outros when I did the treasure sailing. And I'm like, how do I do this? I have listened to our many hundreds of episodes of podcast and I never have to do those. I'm not good at it. So anyway,
it gets easier.
We want to thank our 53 paid Patreons, and they really, as Lake says, keeps the show going for us. Obviously, I have some clients, a lot of clients from listeners, and I really appreciate you. But this way, right, it just works itself out. So because podcasts cost money, and we just so appreciate the support. And our Patreon program is so fun. Like, there's potentially other programs that do more, right? But we have a great Facebook group, great interaction. We've always had some Zooms, but we are going to do those more. And then there is some slight bits of exclusive content, sometimes live recordings where we'll record, like this type of episode could be recorded live where they could see it and chat with us while we're doing it. But then also there's just other opportunities. They have first choice to come on to do a trip report, things like that. It's just a really fun community of friends.
Yeah, the Patreon Facebook group is the best little corner of Facebook groups for me. You know, it's small. There's not a ton of people, and they're just a good group of people.
Yeah, everybody's supportive. People can ask questions. So yeah, it's really nice. So anyway, thank you. You know, like, we have been doing this ourselves for a year now. Steve and then also Nova had to back away for some of their family stuff. And you and I decided to take over. You have been editing our shows for the past year, and well, more than that. But so I'm so appreciative. I love podcasting. And we saw one of our listeners in the Zoom last night, Kim, who actually brought Steve and I together for podcasting and got me involved in podcasting. And it's just one of my favorite things. And so we're just grateful that we still have listeners that actually want to listen to the show. So,
yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, of course, I've kind of been around in the scenes of the podcast for a while, but to really kind of take the reins on it and do a lot more of the editing. For those that don't know, I did do a different podcast previously. It was kind of a pop culture podcast. That was a lot of fun, but it unfortunately kind of died out as people moved away and people got busy schedules, because it was one of those, like, we did it in-house, like all in-house, which is what made it fun. And once that wasn't possible, it wasn't as fun anymore.
Do I know any of the people that you did that with?
I don't know that you do. They were all college friends who I am all still friends with. They all still live. In fact, I'm getting dinner with one of them next week. Mm-hmm. But yes, that little corner of the internet still exists if you really want to dive deep and hear about the nerdy things that we're all into.
You can ask Lake where to find his little nerd cast.
No, you have to find it. You don't get to ask.
I think you should ask.
It would be pretty easy to find.
Okay. Look for his name. Can they look up Nerdcast? I think that needs to be a word we coin now.
Nerdcast.
Yeah.
You're close with that name, though.
Okay. Oh, good.
Points to someone who finds it and messages us about it.
Please do. And while we're just out sharing the love and literally talking about nothing so far, if you have not left us a review, preferably a 5-star one on Apple Podcasts, could you please do that? It really does help our show get found, and it helps it show up in the algorithm and in the feed. And you like this type of show, so you're going to like this one. So we would appreciate both the little star rating and some actual words that literally, that says anything. You can say, Christy and Lake are the best. Could leave us a review, we would really appreciate it.
Yeah, and it does help us continue to get out there and spread the joy of our podcast and cruising. One thing that I thought would be cool is if we talk about if you had a highlight or two favorite episodes from this year. I think there's one obvious one that stands out, I think, for both of us.
The cruise we did together?
No.
Oh.
I can't believe that this one did not pop right into your head.
Oh, Lisa.
Yes.
From Celebrity Cruises.
Yes, Lisa was a very cool episode, and definitely hope that in this next year we could get some more people that are a little bit more like in that behind the scenes cruise ship design, that sort of thing, because that was a really cool and informative episode. I will try to pull up that episode number for you now. Yes, our cruise was a good one. Any episode with Brian, which we will have another one coming out soon this year, is usually a good one.
Brian has some good information.
And he always just has a fun show.
With her so many words. Steve and I interviewed her. She was one of our first guests when she did her first Bahamian cruise, and she packs everything into a cruise. And so she's fun to listen to because she just has so much to share.
You know what else was a fun one that I almost forgot about? Your Christmas market cruise content.
Thank you.
That was a good one.
That was one of the reviews that said I talk too much or something.
That's okay.
I know. Not everybody has to like us, but also you don't have to share that necessarily. That Christmas markets cruise, I still cannot believe it was a year ago. And, we talked about this with Steve too, that you really sometimes can make those connections with people on an Adventures by Disney trip. And I am still friends with our little table. We still all have a group chat where we text each other. And one of the couples, we've now had dinner with them again when they've been in town. We have plans to meet up with them again next month. And I just love that we've stayed friends with people from that trip from a year ago.
Yeah, that is, I have not gotten to experience an ABD, nor is this leading into hey, I'm doing an ABD this year type of conversation. Lisa's episode was episode 422. Go and listen to that. While going back to, I did the D23 recap with Nova.
Oh, yeah.
It was just fun to record with Nova, geek out about Disney stuff.
She and I are doing a cruise. I don't think you know this yet, Lake. I am going on the Utopia of the Seas in March for my son's spring break. And Nova is going to be on that cruise as well with her family and some friends. So we will do snippets for sure. So for sure, some snippets will occur. And then maybe we'll see if we can have her on for a post-cruise trip report, or we'll just do the snippets. We'll figure it out. But That way you can hear more from Nova.
Please
So that'll be
do.
fun.
Well, I think that's a good place to take us into what else we were going to talk about, which is kind of our New Year plans here.
Yay!
So you want to just keep going with your itinerary of cruises since we've already started the Utopia?
I mean, it's a little bit, it's a lot. And when I was writing this into our Patreon group, actually, at the end of the year, when we were talking about, everybody was talking about what they're going to do for the new year, I wrote out my plans and it's excessive. And I think that from now on, I'm going to start writing out my plans like in a note when the year starts. So like as I book things so that I can keep track, because I think Dave and I are like, this sounds like a good idea. And then whatever, we're living our best life. But we have Dopey this weekend. And that's my first plan. And everybody, you guys are going to hear this before, and I'm just putting this out there. And I want everybody's really good well wishes that I am a 2025 Dopey finisher, because I worked really hard and then I pulled my back and I lost about 3 weeks, like 3 really important key weeks. And so that put me back. And I'm running again, and we're going to see how it goes. Either way, I'm proud of my effort, but I love good thoughts and good juju, so I want it all. So if you could think good thoughts, so that's happening this weekend. Then in a week after that, which I think everybody should finish Dopey with a week-long cruise on the Treasure, we actually have our family's Treasure cruise that we booked, opening day. So we're going to do that. We are going to be in concierge, so I get to experience the Treasure concierge for a week. So you guys will be getting all of that content. I know it's a bit much. Please don't judge me. We work really hard. So then in March, I do have a work cruise that I am doing. So that is just work, no family. I will be on the Fantasy. I love the Fantasy, so I can't wait to give you some content from that. Then shortly after that is our spring break trip. This summer, our big trip of the summer is we are doing an Adventures by Disney British Isles trip, and then Celebrity Norwegian Fjord and Arctic Circle cruise. I'm so excited about that trip too. Like, that's going to be epic. And the scenery, I just cannot wait. I just cannot wait. And then we're home for a little while. And then Thanksgiving, we have the Destiny booked, which frankly, we had thought about at some point canceling just because we have so many things booked. But my son is going to love it. He's going to love the Destiny. I love being on a ship over a holiday. It just makes it so easy for our family. And then we have the Fantasy booked for Christmas.
What a packed schedule.
Yeah.
I will say too, Christy's work cruise is kind of interesting because she's basically planning a group cruise for another organization. So something else that Christy can help you with, and probably something that'll be kind of a cool episode to talk about a little bit of that information and how to go about that.
Yeah.
But then it is my turn. I am also starting out with Dopey here. Of course, can't miss Dopey. This will be my third time. With Katie as well. Yes, this will be Katie's second Dopey. So I am so excited because, I mean, if you know, like the Mouse Gen content, that is really a lot of Run Disney. So this is my jam. Basically a whole week of Run Disney is what I'm all about here. So I'm excited.
Love meeting everybody. So if any of our listeners are going to be at Dopey, definitely come up and talk to us, but definitely come up and talk to Lake. Talk to both of us, but he loves engaging as part of his Run Disney channel.
Yes, I love to meet all sorts of new friends. We do have an official meetup if you're going to be down there and you are listening. That is Friday at the Expo, 2 to 4 p.m. And we're doing a picture at 3-ish, give or take. So all are welcome to that. But yeah, that is...
excited if I will be at that. But it is both. It is a Mouse Gen event. DCL Podcast represents. I just don't know if I'll be there or not.
Yeah, but it's a good weekend. And it's always the weekend that like the little group that we've made is like squatted up for. So it's all the memories and all the fun. And we're looking forward to it. My plans are a lot more run based than cruise based this year. We do have right now one cruise. There is floating rumors of maybe a second cruise, but we don't have anything locked down for that. An idea of a second cruise. You know what the one cruise is?
The one that you're going to book.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
but
that should have been.
What the idea of the second cruise is. I need to know.
Well, I don't know yet, so There's the rumors of a little family get together, like weekend cruise, and we hope that pans out. It's not even like
a big birthday for you anymore. You already had that.
No, we all just want to go on a cruise.
Okay, I like that. Your family loves each other. It's so cute.
We do. They are great. But
We're going to see them this weekend.
Lots of running going on this year. We will have Princess and Springtime surprise weekend for the challenges. All of the Walt Disney World weekends will be there.
The 10-miler is still available to book.
Springtime's a good, fun weekend, too.
And 10 miles is great because just at the point, I mean, you have to take effort, you have to train for it. But at the point in which you're overrunning, like if you're doing a half marathon, you're just like, okay, I'm ready. At the 10-miler, you're done.
Yep. Yeah. Right at the end of the Run Disney season, too.
Yeah, it's very hot.
But then we are going to Duluth, Minnesota to run Grandma's Marathon in early June, which is hopefully like an actual goal racing marathon for me. I have not ran a marathon since I did Eugene, which was like 2 years ago, which was my like sub-3 marathon. So we've got a lot of work. I'm not in the shape that I was when I ran Eugene now when I did that Dopey. So a lot of work, but also some more time to get there. But that is the big adventure.
When is that?
That's in June. Some Run Disney friends have also signed up with that to join us. So looking forward to that as well.
And there's always like really cool professional runners that come out to that.
Yeah, that is a big, fast marathon, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then for our actual cruise, we are doing the Disney British Isles cruise this year, which we are really looking forward to. We're doing a couple pre-days in London. We've never been to London. So it's going to be all sorts of fun and new things.
Are you going to go see Hercules?
We are probably going to go see Hercules. We're seeing at least one show for sure. And we're discussing potentially trying to make at least 2 happen.
Well, and sometimes the tickets for some of those theaters are really quite reasonable. So it makes it a little bit easier. It's not quite the same level of pricing, in my opinion, as like a Broadway situation here. So Hercules is playing in London. It starts like June 6th, I believe. And we are actually staying an extra night for our London trip so that we could see at the end of our cruise so that we can see Hercules before we fly home.
I do love Go the Distance, so.
I know. And we're going to listen to it this weekend.
Yes, we will.
Okay.
But
so
that is.
British Isles is huge.
Yes, I am looking forward to it. So we never booked the cruise, but we kind of call it like one of our pandemic casualties. Because back when things got canceled and everyone was like, oh, we'll be back to cruising in, a month or 2. Mm-hmm. We were like, oh, this is the cruise we're going to book since we're like, figuring out what to do while we're going stir crazy. And of course, that never panned out. But ever since, we're always like, okay, we got to do that British Isles cruise.
Yeah, that's going to be so cool. And there's some friends that are going to be on it and listeners that are going to be on it.
Yeah, so a lot of people on it.
Super fun.
But yeah, that's really my big plans for this year. Like I said, we've got a couple other maybes on the list, and I have some more time to play with too.
Yes, you have to use it. It doesn't count if you don't use it.
I did just look at the work schedule and it's like, okay, what weeks are we going through?
Nice. Very good.
But yeah, again, less cruise intensive than Christy, but still good.
It's my job.
It is.
I have to client research.
You do. It's important.
I mean, I do have to do client research, but also it's because we like it as well. And content for the show.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you wanted to hit on?
I don't think so. Just want to wish everybody a happy new year. And again, we appreciate your support. And hopefully that we'll have some really fun show ideas. We need to do, and we've talked about it, we're going to do some more mini-sode episodes this year as well. You can find our mini-sode episodes on the podcast or on the website at dclpodcast.com. You can actually type in mini-sode and it'll have like what's included on a Disney cruise, but that was recorded during the pandemic. I think there's only one thing that was included at that time that no longer exists on a Disney cruise, but we're still going to redo that one with Amber. And then we'll do a couple of other ones. Some of our Patreons gave us some suggestions yesterday. So we'll work on those as well coming forward. We just need to get through January, frankly, because it's a month and I'm gone. And so, but there should be some more time in February for sure to get some good recording done.
Exactly. And also, if you have filled out the Be a Part of the Show, which sits in the show notes of everything, first off, thank you. We do appreciate that. It makes it easier to organize and contact people. we have quite a queue of people that we still need to contact to figure out recordings. I was away for a while, and then it was the holidays, and now we're doing Dopey, and then Christy's on a cruise. And hopefully once we get into February here, we'll be able to sit down and knock out some shows.
Absolutely. So we'll keep giving you shows. I know we have a couple good ones coming up, Brian again. And then we do have an episode about cruising with special diets that'll be coming up in a couple of weeks, I believe. And so that if you cruise with food allergy, that will be, or a limitation of any kind, that'll be a good one to teach you sort of how to do it. And then we'll start going through the queue as well.
Yeah.
We have the allergy one, but that could...
What is up, everyone? Welcome back. This is our little post show. We are post-Dopey in the Magic Kingdom right now. Christy, how you feeling?
I feel good.
Christy is a Dopey finisher.
It's going to make me cry thinking about it again.
48.6 miles, all the races, all the miles. What'd you think?
It was very cool.
It's hard.
It's hard. I gotta look through my text. I'm pretty sure I sent you a text maybe at some point that said I hate this. But then it wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
It's actually fascinating that like mile 15, 16, 7, you're like, can I finish this? And then all of a sudden you're at like 19 and 20 and
about
22.
20, you're like, wait, this is real.
Yeah, because even for my slow self at 20, I'm like, okay, I can do this for an hour and a half. Even if I had to walk it, right? You could, and everything didn't hurt. I mean, you hurt, but it didn't like,
Stop you.
Right. It was never again, but it was one of the coolest experiences of my life. And one of the hardest things that I did in my life.
Yeah, it's hard. Respect the marathon.
Yeah.
But Dopey's fun. I had a good race. Not quite as important, to be honest.
It is important. Yeah. You even ran past all your friends.
I did, yes. I had to leave my friends behind, sadly. Because I was having a good day, which is good.
Yeah.
I did not know if this marathon would be good or bad, and
yeah, you had some things that came up during your training, so good for you.
This goes in the category of what I call confident marathons.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy. I mean, really though, what this week is about is the people, the friends, the new friends, everyone who's come out and said, hey, they support the show or the YouTube channel, one or both. Like, that is all so special and what makes this week really special. Yeah, no, for real. And we had extra friends around this weekend, and that was great. This was wonderful. Yeah, it's what makes this weekend like my favorite of the weekends.
Yeah, I can see that.
Especially working retail, like, you know, the holidays are not always the most spectacular time. This is my holiday. It's my time off. You deserve it. My time with friends and family usually. So it is, it's just special and we love it. Yeah. We had a dinner party at your sister's house and they decorated it. Did you take pictures, by the way? I do, okay, yes. I would like to have some of those. It was amazing. Yes, it was amazing. I called it crew dinner because it was like the close friends. Yeah. But yes, my mom and my sister planned this whole dinner for us, like a whole elaborate menu too. Like not just like, hey, here's some pasta. No, it was so good. And appetizers everywhere. Yeah. And then we did surgery on my foot in the kitchen. That did happen. That happened. Which was amazing. Special thank you to our friend who was a doctor and did a little bit of work. A special thanks to his wife who volunteered him. I was like, oh my God. That is true. And then he so graciously fixed my little blister. Yeah, and then we capped off with a celebration yesterday with the fireworks cruise. Yeah, it was, the fireworks cruise. You guys, so we had a listener and a client who invited me a couple years ago, and it was one of the coolest experiences. So I felt like that was the perfect way to end and to celebrate or commiserate, or so it was celebrate, so it was good. The experience, and
you should, if it can work in your budget, you should experience it. I want to say it was like $475 or something.
With pass holder discount.
Oh, okay. But it was, the view is incredible. The experience is great. You can
Both our drivers were good. We had so many people, we needed 2 boats, which is, well, we had 3 boats technically with friends.
Oh, right, because yes, your other friends were by the other...
They were the ones yelling Marco, Polo.
Oh, jeez. I think our boat moved away from that boat. So it was a really special weekend.
Yeah, it was. We are, like I said, just in the Magic Kingdom now. It's Metal Monday. Honestly, Katie and I have just been sitting here since park opened, doing photos for people, and then just like watching all the cool photos, and like everyone's got their special outfits to celebrate. It's just a really fun vibe to just like be here and celebrate with people. You know, friends are all through the parks, doing rides, doing photos. We're just lounging, having a good time.
Yep. So we hope you enjoyed this episode. We will go back to Disney cruising now next week. And actually, I will be on the Disney Treasure on Saturday.
Yes, you will. Like 5 days.
Yeah. That was like the best decision. Past Christy was so smart.
Post-run cruises are solid.
Yeah. I'm here for that. All right. Well, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next time on the DCL Podcast.
Bye, guys.
The DCL Podcast is unaffiliated with the Disney Cruise Line, Walt Disney Company, Adventures by Disney, or Run Disney. All of the opinions expressed on our shows are those of the hosts and the guests who appear on the show. If you have any questions about any of these products, please contact the Walt Disney Company.